So this video is for the URI mentors to understand some of the documents that they need to prepare with the students. So on the URI website, here it explains the program. And here is the URI in the USA. The mentors have their own site here. They go to URI roles. And there they have URI mentors. And this is the page I want to explain. So during URI, the mentors will bring the students through these phases: developing a research question, developing the context and background or a brief literature review for the research, the approach, the design of experiments. There will be some preliminary data collection, then early data analysis. The students will make early findings. They will go through what work they want to do in the future, and they'll prepare for their presentation. So in each phase of each of the 4 phases, the mentor is working with the student to go through these areas. There is no set curriculum for the mentors, although we have some guides for these different phases. Here are the program documents that the mentor will want to know about. The first program document is the Mentorship Agreement. This is the document where the student and the mentor will set the times that they will meet. So if you click here, you come up here, and here is the mentorship agreement. The mentor's obligations, the student's obligations, and here, please tell me when and where you will meet. You should meet at least 1 hour. Wait, you should meet at least 1 hour twice a month. That is the minimum. The mentorship meeting agreement example. We will meet at 4 p.m. every other Tuesday at room 401. It's important that the coordinator from your school understands this. Then you will put a set of meetings for you and the student to go through Status Report 1, Status Report 2, 3, and the poster review session. These are the proposed date in the 2nd week of November, the 3rd week of December, the 3rd week of February. Please put your agreed date, the time, and the meeting location. And then it's important that the student, the mentor, and the coordinator signs this, so we know when you are doing your status reports and how often you are meeting together. Okay. If we go back to the program documents, we have the URI Phase Guidelines. This is a document that I've prepared for the mentors and for the students to understand the very basic elements of what is happening in each phase. It goes through the 4 phases, the proposed times, these are just proposed, and the status report date for submission. I will explain that again later. We come up with the URI program has each phase is a section of the poster. This is a picture of the poster template, so that as you complete a phase together, you can fill in the poster. So we start with research question. That's a part of phase 1. Here's a very basic review of what is a research question, but the mentor has experience and can help the student understand what is a research question. The next part is the context or background of the problem. This is a brief overview of what it is, and the mentor should help the student create maybe an annotated bibliography or make a simple literature review. Then in the next phase, we have the approach. Here is a very basic review of what are research methods, research tools, research materials. So the methods, the tools, and the materials, these are in the approach. Then we have the design of the experiments. The student and the mentor together will design the experiment. For the next phase, we have primary data collection, where the student and the mentor will go through the experience of running the experiments and capturing the data. The final one is primary data analysis. The mentor will help the students do some data analysis. Preliminary findings, the early conclusions that the student makes. Future work, what the students would continue to do if they were going to continue. And preparations for their presentation. So these are very basic guidelines just to refresh your memory, because you as mentors have experience and you can just guide your students through. If we go back to the next project document, we have the URI Status Update template. This is important. For each phase, we ask for a status report to be sent to your coordinator, to your school's URI coordinator by this date. In the research agreement, we asked for you to tell us the date that you were going to complete the status report with the student. Now I will show you the status report. Fill in your name, student's name, and this is an example of how to use the status report document. In the top box, the student will fill in this case, the context or background. The students will fill in. They can write in Vietnamese or English. There is no page limit. It can be as long as they need it to be. Then the mentor will put their feedback here. It's important that the mentor's feedback is written so the URI coordinator can see that the mentor gave feedback. The student can then edit and make their final version. It's important that the date for the student is agreed in the mentorship agreement. When will the student do it? And this is the hard deadline for the mentor to send to the URI coordinator. And then we go. So this top section is just an example. This section can be in English or Vietnamese. There is no page limit. The students and mentor work together to develop a final for each section. The students should submit by the date in their mentorship agreement. All right, the mentor submits this to the URI coordinator by the stated date. They should CC the student. Okay, so we start with phase 1. The phase 1 status report, we have the final context and background. Context and background mentors feedback. You can use Vietnamese or English, but the text must be here. And please share this document with your coordinator by this date. We go on for the final research question and to share the mentor's feedback. And this process goes on where the student's work is here, the student's final work is here, and the mentor's feedback is below. This process goes on throughout the program. And in the end, the student will copy their final material and paste it into their poster. I recommend that mentors go to File, make a copy, share the copy with the student, and work on this together. Although you must meet together to discuss this. All right. The final document that the mentor needs to be aware of is the URI Poster template. Here is the PowerPoint slide for the poster template. Here is information for the student about how to use this poster template. When the student has, say, their final research question, they go to their status report here, and they fill it in here. So as the student is completing the status reports, they are gradually building the URI poster. Okay. So for the students, they will present their posters at STEMCon. STEMCon is a large engineering education conference that happens in Ho Chi Minh City each year. The students will present at this conference at a poster session very similar to this. We have prepared a PowerPoint slides for how to help the students prepare for STEMCon. They can download the poster template. Here is more information for the students about their poster. Here is advice for having a professional looking poster. We have websites that can help them. Here is another slide deck that will give the students useful advice for preparing their poster. All right, so with that, I'll go right back here to URI Mentors and make one more review. Once the students and the mentors are matched, they begin together in October. In November, their first status report is due, November 15th, where the student will produce the final research question, context and background. In the status report, the mentor puts their comments. When it is complete, they send to the URI coordinator. Then we move on to phase 2, with the same deadlines, same phase 3, phase 4, and in phase 4, the mentor will help the student prepare their poster, giving feedback on their poster. So in the agreement, we have status report 1, status report 2, status report 3, and the poster review session, which is also status report 4. All right. I hope that this video was helpful for the mentors.